John, you've been seeing Dr. Daines now for a little while. Can you tell us your story and what led you to him specifically?
Yes, when I was in college years ago, I was going into the secondary ed department at Utah State University, and they require you as you enter the program to take a hearing and speech test, and I did that, and I failed my hearing test substantially. At the time, I was a music major, and so having a hearing loss was a big thing, and at that time I found out I had had a substantial hearing loss, and it was degenerative. And so it kind of ruined a music career, and so I had to change up a little bit in my plans in the future. And I also found out at the time that it was most likely the cause of things like not hearing my alarm in the morning and not being able to understand teachers and a lot of things that affected my education directly. I decided to live with it a bit, and just because the cost sometimes for a student can be a lot more than what a student can handle for the cost for hearing assistance. And I just got to the point in my life where I was having a hard time functioning. I became a recluse in group situations because I wasn't able to hear the conversations all the time. I began to just read lips, and I got pretty good at reading lips because that was the only way I was able to even attempt to figure out how what they were saying and how the conversation was going. Got to the point where I had lost enough where I was only following between 10 and 20% of dialogue and conversation, and that depended on the person's voice and the frequency of their voice. So because of that, I was in desperate need. I would not pay attention in church situations and just sit in the back of class, or sometimes not go. I would not be actively involved in social situations. And eventually I decided to do something about it, and that's when I met Dr. Daines. He took me through the whole process, and we had our tests done. We figured out a way that I could get the hardware that I needed to assist my hearing and be able to hear. And he works with lots of different companies and lots of different makers of hearing aids, and has a lot of different assistance and hardware. And he's very professional. He knows what he's doing, and he's very honest with you and saying, this is what you need, but this could be better, or this might be more expensive, but it doesn't really help you as much, so let's try this. And so we finally found a hearing aid that fit my budget and helps me hear better, and now I can function in life. And it was like night and day. I hadn't heard birds in over a decade. I hadn't heard just simple things that you don't realize you're missing in life, and I just became a new person.
So when you say that you don't realize, had you not noticed that you were losing your hearing?
I hadn't noticed. In fact, when I was in college and failed that hearing test, I had no clue that I would. Had no clue that I had lost my hearing. And one ear was worse than the other, and when they told me that, I was able to suddenly think about it and start noticing a difference. But it happened so slowly that I never noticed.
So clearly a life-changing moment for you. Really, I don't think that's overstating it, when you met Dr. Daines and everything he was. And you actually have a hearing aid on today. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Can you?
I have two hearing aids.
You have two? See, I did not know. That's great, the modern technology too, because you just don't have to see them.
Yes, and not only that, but I have a device that allows me to hook them up to Bluetooth, and so I can talk on my phone while I'm wearing my hearing aids, and they just go through my hearing aids. I can connect it to my television, and so I can hear the television truly, and the television volume can be all the way down for other people, and I can hear it just fine. Just lots of technology in today's society that can assist you in so many ways.
Well, I'm really glad that you came to Dr. Daines, and I'm really glad that he was able to help you. It's horrifying for all people to be thinking that you would be reclusive.
Yes, and if you're hesitant or anything like that, I mean, just try them out and just find out about it. And it affects everyone. It affects the people around you too. It just doesn't affect you. There, some people, they stop talking to you because they think that you're just not going to hear them, and loved ones are worried about how you're going to function in life, and it can affect how you drive, and it can affect how you just function in society.
Well, what a wonderful story from John. Thank you, John. Come on down and see Dr. Daines, because I'm sure that he can help you too. Thanks, John.
Say the word change.